For most of its history, Lamborghini built cars for a very small group of people. They were dramatic, extreme, and unforgettable, but ownership was rare, risky, and exclusive by design. There was no entry point, no stepping stone, no easy way into the brand. Then, Lamborghini built one car that changed who their cars were actually for, and that decision reshaped the company in a way that still defines it today. Before the early 2000s, Lamborghini lived almost entirely at the top of the supercar world. Flagship cars, low production numbers, big engines, big statements, big compromises. If you wanted a Lamborghini, you weren't easing into ownership, you were jumping straight into the deep end. That limited who could actually buy one, who would follow through, and how many cars Lamborghini could realistically sell. At the time, other brands had already figured this out. Porsche had the Boxster, Ferrari had a line of V8 cars sitting below their V12 flagships, all of which gave buyers a place to start, a way into the brand that didn't require going all in on day one. Lamborghini did not have that. The brand had passion, identity, and presence, but it lacked scale, and without scale, survival was never guaranteed. Lamborghini made a decision they'd never made before. Build a car below the flagship that people could actually live with. Smaller, more usable, less intimidating to own, still loud, still emotional, still unmistakably Lamborghini, but for the first time, Lamborghini was designing a car around people who would actually own it. That car was the Gallardo. The Gallardo brought in a lot of buyers Lamborghini never had before. It became the first Lamborghini many owners ever bought, the first one they daily drove, the first one they put real miles on. Ownership shifted from collectors and risk takers to drivers and repeat customers. And that mattered because Lamborghini was now building a real customer base. The Gallardo gave Lamborghini volume, stability, and most importantly, momentum. The Gallardo didn't only succeed because it was cheaper than the Murcielago. It worked because Lamborghini made a series of decisions that changed how the car behaved and how owners experienced it. The car was more compact than what Lamborghini had built before. The proportions were tighter, the driving position made sense, and you didn't feel like you were fighting the car just to place it on the road. Steering inputs were clean and predictable. The chassis responded consistently. When you leaned on the car, it gave you the same feedback every time. That consistency matters more than people realize. It changes how often a car gets driven. It changes how quickly owners get comfortable with it. And it changes whether a car feels like something you use versus something you save. The engine played a big role in that too. The V10 delivered power smoothly, with immediate response and no surprises. You could build speed progressively and trust what the car was going to do next. For owners, that meant confidence, not just on the track, but everywhere. People drove these cars more often, they put miles on them, they learned how they behaved. And once that happened, Lamborghini ownership stopped feeling like a one-time event, but started feeling more normal, at least by supercar standards. That shift is what made the Gallardo matter. It changed how Lamborghini ownership actually worked. The results were undeniable. The Gallardo became the best-selling Lamborghini in the company's history. For the first time, Lamborghini had a car that could be produced, sold, and supported at real scale. More buyers entered the brand. More owners stayed. And Lamborghini finally had a sustainable foundation. That foundation didn't disappear when the Gallardo ended production. By the time the Gallardo finished its run, Lamborghini had a clear picture of what worked. They had a car bringing in first-time buyers, they had owners putting real miles on them, and they had steady production instead of short spikes. The Huracan filled the same spot in the lineup and carried the bulk of Lamborghini's sales. More than 20,000 Huracans sold shows how central that role became. For most buyers, and similar to the Gallardo, this was the Lamborghini people actually interacted with. That shift is what made the Gallardo so important, which is exactly why it makes sense to bring it here, the Nürburgring Nordschleife, to see exactly how these cars hold together when you stop treating them gently. Same driver, same track, same conditions. In Assetto Corsa, I ran a lap in 8 minutes and 11 seconds on the Nürburgring, which puts the Gallardo at the top of the Lap Legends leaderboard for now, a clear step ahead of our previous runs. That result isn't especially surprising, considering this is our first mid-engine supercar in the series. I'll be honest, this car took work. I'm not sure if it's just the mod that I'm using, which I'll link below in the description so you can try it yourself. However, it didn't feel effortless, and it didn't let me get away with lazy inputs. Once I slowed things down and drove it properly, the lap came together, but it made me earn it. That balance between usability and difficulty is part of why the Gallardo still feels like a Lamborghini. The Gallardo changed Lamborghini by changing who Lamborghini was built for. It turned ownership into something repeatable. It turned passion into a business model, and it gave the company the scale it needed to grow without losing its identity. Every modern Lamborghini traces its philosophy back to that decision, and that's why the Gallardo belongs here, not as the loudest or fastest the brand had produced, but as the car that made Lamborghini what it is today. And with that being said, please like, comment, and subscribe, and thank you for joining as always.